Well, hi there. Today's episode is called Acts, the Appetizer. We are about to dive into the book of Acts together, and I am so excited. If this book in the Bible was a movie, it would be an action adventure film. It's got everything. We're talking a shipwreck, tongues of fire, dead people who come back to life. It is so exciting. Plus, we're going to meet a man who was the enemy of the Christian faith. But then he goes on a little road trip, encounters the Lord, and he becomes an influencer, perhaps one of the most influential Christians who ever lived. And while we're on the subject of the Apostle Paul, he calls the author of the book of Acts his coworker and the beloved physician. Yeah, we're talking about Luke. Luke wrote the Gospel of Luke, of course, and the book of Acts. Interestingly enough, he wrote more words in the New Testament than the Apostle Paul. That's something I just learned the other day. Now, Luke did not witness the life of Jesus or his miracles. Instead, he picked up his pen and he wrote down what other people were blessed to see. He mentions a man named Theophilus at the beginning of the Gospel of Luke and at the beginning of the book of Acts. I want to read to you from the beginning of the Gospel of Luke because this is so interesting. You'll find out why Theophilus has a place in your life too. Here we go. Okay, this is how Luke starts his gospel. Many people have set out to write accounts about the events that have been fulfilled among us. They used the eyewitness reports circulating among us from the early disciples. Having carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I also have decided to write an accurate account for you, most honorable Theophilus, so you can be certain of the truth of everything you were taught. Okay, you and I can be certain about what we believe. You can be certain. There was a man named Luke who was a doctor who wrote it all down so you and I could know that these things that we're about to study together actually happened. I don't know about you, but that's pretty awesome. Chuck Swindoll is a wonderful preacher, and I love learning from him. He says to ask yourself this question: who is your Theophilus? Who is the person in your life who you're trying to reach with the truth and the hope that can only be found in the gospel of Jesus Christ? So ask yourself that. I'm asking myself that. Who can you share this podcast with? We would love that. Listen, I am so excited to dive into the book of Acts with you. Can't wait to embark on this incredible adventure. Until then, remember, you are loved.